I guess I want to say thank you to the museum for putting on this conversation. I've been to a few of them now and have been so equally blown away by all of them. One thing that really stuck with me from this conversation that I definitely wrote down in my brochure was something that Tanya said. She said that we need to create spaces in everyday life where people can mobilize using the arts and have the arts be like a tool of mobilization for people that aren't necessarily artists, and especially for people who aren't artists that are at the intersection of like arts and social justice, which really spoke to me. I'm currently trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, and I know that it might not directly involve, I know I can't be an artist realistically, but I want to try to create those spaces in my everyday life. So that's something that I'm thinking about. And yeah, it was an awesome conversation. Thank you.
So the museum setting is just such an interesting place to have these conversations, and to regularly think about that there's all kinds of art that is used to suggest change, to create dialogue. And tonight's discussion I thought was just so meaningful because it really raised a lot of questions for me, and thinking about which art forms create the most questions in my mind. And I was thinking how performative work is active as compared to painting and sculpture, which is more passive. And then I was thinking, like, well, which art forms have made me think more about situations? And I was thinking of the Guerrilla Girls. And I was thinking more recently about Black Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live, and just how when these actors came forward and with humor and irony, and how that also imparts the idea of making me it stops me in my tracks and makes me think about, like, well, what is going on here and how can I affect change? And how is it not just catharsis? How is it not just about me? And how do I get my information out there as a painter? The other thing is, I think this museum is just doing these incredible dialogues, cross-cultural dialogues, cross-discipline dialogues. And I think the more that we do this, like as example tonight at these dinners, I mean, we talk about a safe place, but this gives people an opportunity to really engage in meaningful dialogue. And then that dialogue goes outside of the institution, and we have it with our families, with our students. And so I totally commend the museum, and I look forward to attending many, many more of these events.
This is my first time to any sort of special event at the museum, and definitely my first time to a FreshTalk event. I'm a graduate student in museum studies. I'm learning how museums put on really cool programs like this to attract a really diverse crowd. And I'm so happy that I came tonight because I met a lot of really interesting people from a lot of different industries. And I think it's important that museums provide this platform for people, especially people who historically, haven't had as much of a voice as other demographics, to voice their opinions, to make themselves heard, and to really make a difference in our society. So I'm so happy to be here tonight, and thanks.
I'd like to just simply say that love with accountability is critical, as my good friend Aisha Simmons says. It is important that we understand and begin to really have dialogues, discussions, and put our hands, our feet, our everything to work with regards to the intersections of race and gender and sexual orientation around this whole issue of sexual violence against women, against girls, against boys, against men. It is a pervasive disease that infects the nation, and not only the nation, but this world. Sexual violence is used as a weapon of war in many nations around the world. So we, as artists, as people, as progressive folks, as folks who want to see change and work towards change, it is incumbent upon us to essentially get out here and put our hands to struggle, because essentially that is the only way change is going to come about. And essentially we are the change agents that we need to be looking towards. We are that. Thank you.
My name is Carolina Mayoria, and I've been a long-time Washington, D.C. artist. I'm originally from Colombia, so I'm a bicultural kind of artist in this town. And I stand for Latino nasty women, and I'm mostly a performance artist. And the reason why I'm here is because these conversations was very important in terms of what the body, the female body, means to you, and what do you do with it in terms of art? How you turn whatever experience you had in your life into something artistic and into something positive that can hopefully reach out and make a difference. That's what art is all about, and this program here is so important in terms of what we're doing, especially post-elections. We all feel a little depressed, but we're all here trying to make a difference with the arts, and the National Women Museum of the Art is trying to do that tonight. Putting together these programs is important. It's important for the city, it's important for the world. Not only the ones here are watching and experiencing, but hopefully this can reach broader audiences. So I'm really happy with this program. On being invited is such a huge honor. And we'll keep being nasty women, sorry.
Hearing the incredible artists and women talk about the work that they've done through difficult circumstances in the face of immense tragedy and hardship was not only inspiring but empowering, I think, for all of us, because we have to remember that the only thing that's going to push us forward and help us make progress down the road is if we lift each other up and support the work that we're doing, but also validate each other's lives and experiences and stories. So I think that's something that art can do better than politics, better than anything else in this world. And I hope that from this conversation, this community of women can go back to our communities and promote a message of peace and love in the face of what's going to come in the next 4 years. So coming out of this event, I'm just very hopeful and inspired by women who have been doing amazing things for centuries, and I know we're going to take the baton and carry it forward. So,
Fresh Talk. This was such a wonderful experience, and what I'm taking away from it is it's time for women to own their power again. Whether that's re-owning your body, your sensuality, your intelligence, every aspect of you. It's our responsibility to own it and to help young girls own it for themselves as well. So come on out to the next Fresh Talk. I believe you will leave empowered as I did. Thank you.